Cardano holders, welcome back to the channel. Let's get into the Monday as we break into the new headline in where we have a confirmed partnership that a lot of people were talking about, and now we actually have some data to go off of in an official announcement with Cardano founder Charles Hoskinson. And what is coming about, we'll break that down here in this video. We'll look at some of the price action, get into the narrative and what Cardano is doing right here, right now, and kind of give you guys all you need to know to get your week started in the right direction. Everybody was kind of forecasting a bloody red Monday, and that's exactly what we're getting as we see a lot of the top 100 cryptos into the red, upwards of 10% in most cases. A lot of cryptos, including Cardano, down 4.6%. We'll take a look at them on the charts, trading at 72 cents, and what exactly is going about. So let's get into this. For those of you that are new here, awesome. We do talk crypto each and every single day. Make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and join us. If you hold Cardano, also leave a comment down below. Let's get this discussion going and into the new week. What exactly is happening? Okay. And that's where we're going to look into kind of the major headline right now. And you can see on your screen here, I'm going to pull it up here. 75 cents. This is a little bit later. We have sold off a little bit more. So like I said, Cardano's at 72, but Hoskinson has confirmed the Litecoin partnership. So let's see exactly what that is. Let's get into this conversation, and we will pull up the chart here. As long as you guys can see this, we're going to break this one down, get in a couple of the highlights here. All right. There is a DeFi partnership coming about within Litecoin. Okay. So for those of you that do not know, Litecoin, Cardano, earlier on, a lot of those cryptos, I mean, we were talking top 5 at one point, was Litecoin and Cardano at the same time. There is a lot of things coming about where declining volume, but the positive comments made in the media within the increasing odds of Cardano breaking above the 78 cents threshold. We were trading above there over the weekend. Bitcoin did retouch 107,000. So that was very fascinating to see. I've watched a lot of Charles though on X. Okay. And he does, he does participate in a lot of spaces, does communicate with the community quite extensively, probably more so than a lot of other crypto heads. But I want to get into the narrative and talk about what exactly is going down. And also, guys, if you don't follow me on X, make sure you do so. Link is down below in the description. At TCryptoMark is my handle. You can find that in the bottom left of your screen as well. I do post things from there on there each and every single day. So make sure you're following on both platforms. Let's get back into this conversation, okay? And this is where we opened up this Monday, okay, with the 24-hour upper wick that was pressing against the 7-day average. But now, with a lot of the media comments that have swung ADA into positive territory after we confirmed the speculations in a DeFi partnership between Cardano and Litecoin, how can this impact Cardano with the days coming ahead? Okay, this is not financial advice. I'll never tell you guys to buy or sell a crypto. We're going to talk about it, though, because this is relevant if you do hold Cardano, okay? And a lot of people may consider me a Cardano bull. If you know, I do hold a lot of Cardano, but within kind of what we're seeing here, this is where you have to look into what has happened within the investor interest. And I always talk about Cardano as a whole, right? It's not the flashy, shiny object that everybody wants to. We did start to shift that sentiment a little bit towards that direction. And I think that with what Cardano is doing, the Bitcoin bridge, all that good stuff, there's a lot of positive catalysts waiting into the wings for what Cardano is building. Not just on their roadmap, but just kind of the partnerships. And I think that's the one thing they have going for them is their efforts to try to establish themselves as a dominant player within blockchain, okay? But this is kind of what we look at, right? The 24-hour trading volume declined from 934 million to lows of 620 million as we approach this Monday. And we have lost some of that price action, right? We were trading over 80 cents in the month of May. And have since then fallen roughly, you could go down where we're at right here, right now, 10 cents, 10 cents plus. Okay. So the markets are moving. I think that right now what we have going on for us is kind of a mixed bag. And I'm going to go full screen for this one because I want to talk about it a little bit more so, right? If you bought into Cardano, right, you weren't worried about $1. You probably bought it over $1, to be honest with you, And that's kind of what's leading me into my conversation. Okay. For me personally, I'm not worried about 60, 70, 80 cents, even 90 cents Cardano. If you want to swing trade it, fine. You're welcome to do whatever you want to do with your own capital. But I think the bigger storyline here is what is coming down the road, right? If we stare down the barrel of what Cardano is building, and this Litecoin partnership we're going to be talking about is something that is another one of those stepping stones that will deliver, in my personal opinion. I think that the Bitcoin bridge and what they're looking to do to make it accessible to other blockchains and transactionally, how that's going to benefit ADA in the long haul. You could talk about the midnight airdrop, just to name another one. There's a lot of positive swings coming, okay? But for me, like I talk about, it's not something that's going to make me, hey, I woke up Monday, I sold all of my Cardano, this is a horrible day, we're in the red. Can't be emotional like that, right? And if you do consider me a Cardano bull, you're probably right. I think that $1, anything below $1 for Cardano is a little bit too cheap in terms of evaluation. Personally, it's not financial advice. That's just my personal thoughts. All right. But as we get deeper into this, you know, and you can hear kind of what Hoskinson says on X. You can watch a lot of his lives. You can watch a lot of his collaborations when he does talk to social media people. And personally, when I want to tie it all together, they always talk about the positives, right? And I think that one thing within crypto we get lost up on is you can talk about, oh, crypto's going to the moon. You can talk about Cardano, Solana, Ethereum, Bitcoin, the list goes on and on, XRP, all the ones that we are bullish about, right? Everything that everybody says is that crypto is going up. Well, I think that one thing that you have to look at is kind of the reverse way of looking at that and consider the fact that, okay, well, what are the negatives, okay? And when you relate that to Cardano, there quite frankly isn't too many negatives out there that actually make sense. So please keep that in mind. So sometimes when we're searching for positives, it's going to be very easy to find. Everybody wants to bring their pom-poms out and start cheerleading for their favorite cryptos. And I think that in most situations, that's never the case. I think that the negatives are what tells the bigger story. And Cardano, for my money, has not they really haven't underperformed any other crypto in terms of that. They don't have any negatives. They don't have any outages. They don't have any setbacks, right? It's just kind of, they're stuck in their own ways. It's not the flashy new car on the lot. It just does things a little differently than most cryptos. Okay. But here we are. This chart is not in real time. Cardano, like I said, is trading around 72 cents. But this is what we wanted to get into. This was the kind of the imminent DeFi partnership within Litecoin, okay? Amongst some growing speculation within this collaboration on the DeFi side of it, this is where Hoskinson goes into discussions on X, as a lot of people, you know, kind of brought up his previous interest in working with the Litecoin network. He says, love the Litecoin network, and I have known Charlie and Bobby for over a decade. Great community, okay? And you can see kind of what he led on to believe, mentioning multiple times his interest to include Litecoin in a variety of DeFi options, okay? And this is kind of where you look into this going viral a little bit, and just that's all it takes, guys. But it's something where I wanted to reiterate, just by Hoskinson saying this, it does not make Cardano go up 10 cents. It's not reactionary. It's not going to make it go up 20 cents, 30 cents. It's not going to outperform the market based on this collaboration. But the one thing that you have to understand, though, is Cardano is a top 10 crypto. And if we look into the TA right here, this is kind of a very unsubstantiated decline to 72 cents. There really is nothing from a technical standpoint other than the fact that we have seen a little bit less of the volume kind of hindering Cardano on the charts. And I think that if you look at previous cycles, you look at the math, you look at the TA, everything does set up for another breakout where we would see Cardano back above $1 very, very quickly, okay? It's not a price prediction. It's just kind of applying the logic that we've had from historical charts and applying it to the chart that we have today. But the one metric that I do want to kind of point out for you all is the parabolic SAR flipping bearish on May 17th and printing above the current price at 85.58, signaling some caution within momentum. So for all you traders out there trading on momentum, yes, the momentum is down. Yes, the volume is down. So maybe in the short term, Cardano is going to be a little bit bearish, but I think the way that the kind of seesaw effect is going in the market, right? Let's not lose track on the site that this was supposed to be a red Monday. We had Bitcoin on the late Sunday hours getting into 107,000 territory. And if we are seeing a little bit of a resurgency from BTC, that's obviously going to have a role in kind of the altcoin decline. And it kind of works in that fashion, right? If Bitcoin's going down, the Bitcoin dominance is going down, altcoin season metrics go up. And then if altcoin season metrics go up, then that's where you can look for Cardano to do well in the next coming days. And it's just going to be that seesaw effect until we solidify, is this going to be, you know, Bitcoin continuing to be bullish, or are we going to have the altcoin season? And when the altcoin season does take off, Bitcoin will kind of recede a little bit. And then obviously the likes of ADA, just to name one out of the many that will kind of see a rise and a nice little surge in terms of price action, will take place due to the altcoins having a little bit better of a day on the charts, okay? So that's kind of where we look at. Me personally, I think as long as Bitcoin's trading high, crypto is going to be stable. I think that if we look at the historical data, and I could pull up the charts and show you, it does really much stack up against what we saw back in 2020, 2017, even a little bit, where we did have, you know, we have these big red candles, and it's something where we do get sell-offs, right? Cardano's down 10 cents, but it kind of leads back into the bigger conversation. Every downward kind of spike, every kind of downward momentum that we do get usually is followed up historically. If we have the overlap that we are seeing right now, there's like 2-3 data instances on the charts that do indicate this. The Cardano, and it will kind of all act basically according to the market. It's not going to be anything that Cardano is doing. It's not going to be this Litecoin partnership, but it will kind of pump from here. Okay, so Cardano reaching back to 80, 82, 85 cents, I don't think is that far out of the equation. I think it's just a red day to kick off the new week. It's not anything that's given me kind of a cause for concern, and that's just kind of how I feel about it. So I wanted to kind of give you guys my stance, how I'm playing it, and allow yourselves to make the best decisions possible, and that's kind of where I'm at. So leave a comment down below. How do you feel about Cardano? How do you feel about this Litecoin partnership? And that's kind of what we have going for us as we kick off the new week, okay? Also, before we get out of here, I am partnered with BTCC. This is a trusted exchange in the market. If you guys aren't using it, I do have a link down below. Check it out. Leverage and spot trading available to most clients. If you use my link down below, something very, very exciting. You do get a 10% bonus on first-time deposits. Okay, that's exclusive to first-time deposits up above 500 USDT. And also, you can earn extra bonuses up to $10,055 per user in USDT, and that's where you get also 40% lower trading fees, 14 plus years trusted by millions within what BTCC is doing in terms of an exchange. This is where you can have up to 500x leverage, no VPN, KYC necessary. So check it out, use your due diligence, and make sure it's right for you, where you're located, understand their terms and conditions. But if you want to trade spot and leverage on BTCC, links are down below in the description. Get started trading today. Okay, so with that, I'll leave you guys. Enjoy it. We'll have a lot of content and updates throughout the week. We do talk Cardano each and every single day, so make sure you all like, comment, and subscribe down below. We'll see you all in the next video. Cheers.